Um, Neil Pickup, he said he restarted his Wi-Fi and soon he will be with us. And so we can just have a very nice conversation about arm wrestling. Oh, yeah, he just came. He just came. Hello, Neil.
There he is. Did I beat you live then, mate?
Yeah, maybe like already 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Yeah. I just, yeah, I didn't know when you are coming.
I'm never even on time on my own channel. Never mind you.
Guys, is one of us lagging? You know, I Neil.
Well, I've just rebooted my Wi-Fi router, so hopefully I get a good signal.
Now is yes. A while ago it was still lagging. I mean, from my side, yeah. So how is everything, Neil?
Yeah, it would have been better if my Wi-Fi router works. Gave me all kind of problems on Sunday night. I had to cancel the fix. So I got to I bought these little boosters, little booster boxes, and hopefully they work. But we will see. Oh wow! I'm just getting people saying I've got bad Wi-Fi, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. I have literally just got 2 boosters. I've just done everything it told me to do. Rebooted the router. Everything's. I don't know what the friggin' is going on. Amazing. How's life in the fast lane in Jersey?
That's good. We have month of Ramadan, fasting days, and for 1 month, and yeah, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Yeah. Do you agree that even though it is your native language, English, and the English is spread from your country, do you agree that it is still, especially some regions in England, it is very hard to understand by the
unbelievably hard.
Like when Craig Sanders is talking. Craig Sanders talks 10 seconds. I try to understand and I don't listen anymore because my brain gets burned. Yeah.
There's a story there because Craig Sanders is married to an incredible woman, lady called Rose. They've been married years. And I said to him once, I said, how come, you're punching above your weight there. How come you managed to pull Rose? And he told me actually she didn't understand him when he asked her to marry him. And she was too embarrassed to say that. So that's what ended up happening there. Yeah, true story, that.
Yeah.
You heard that here.
Yeah. And then did she also say that more they get to know each other later? She said, oh, I totally misunderstood you. That's why I married you. But now
100%. Can't understand a thing he says ever. But I love Craig Sanders though. I'm sure whatever he is saying is amazing. I love the dude.
Yeah.
Are you all ready for Arlington? Is everything in place? All the athletes confirmed and everything? Or have you got some secret
I think we will announce one or two more matches and then we will finalize everything. And yeah, so my point was that like you are probably the most clear English guy that I understand. But yeah,
I will take it.
Still, there is something also. There is another problem that because of the I used to live in the US, you understand, but never like I have been in England. I competed Manchester Waffles that you organized, but about the cultural part, you know that 90% of the jokes that you make, I don't understand.
I do get this because sometimes I tell a joke.
You're still doing those jokes, and then whenever I read here people say, "Oh, Engin again didn't understand." Engin is slow. It's not because I'm slow, because I don't understand what you are saying.
Listen, when we've spoken before, I've said probably not 90. Let me think. Realistic total. I'm going to say that whenever I'm online, I would say 75% of everything I say outside of some match predictions,
is
I'm taking a piss. I'm joking. Most of the time.
Okay, so let's make a deal with you. Most of the time. Let's make a deal with you, and we talk about arm wrestling. Because you would be joking by yourself. Oh, of course, the people.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to do when we're just talking arm wrestling.
Yeah.
You put me down and make me serious, Engin, and I really mean that.
Yeah, you guys. I'm 100% sure that you have never met anyone who is more serious about arm wrestling than myself.
Never.
I've
never met anybody that's more serious about anything than yourself. You are the most serious guy I have ever met in my life.
Listen. You only see me when I'm competing and when I'm organizing. If you see me outside of the arm wrestling, then I mean, with the people who I'm comfortable, I'm barely serious. I'm barely serious. Yeah. But whenever I am organizing, I am on a mission. When I'm competing, I'm on a mission. But other than that, yeah. You remember
when you were competing, you were more than on a mission.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people think they're focused. When you were competing, you were absolutely. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah,
turned into a absolute
psychopath. You
proper lunatic. Yeah. Absolute nutcase. I mean, when we did that review, and you said you were in the bath in America, and you were contemplating cutting your own arms.
Yeah, because I took second place in the world. I took second place in the world. Yeah, and that was
seems
really
logical, mate. Funny stuff, dude.
Yeah, I was pretty serious. I mean, I wasn't gonna cut, but I was just telling my arms that they deserve to be cut because I took second in the world.
Second place, terrible result.
Yeah,
I'd have been
terrible.
Second was all right.
And I was in army for 1.5 years. I didn't really get prepared, and then I just get out of army, 2-3 months preparation and competed. Yeah, I took second. Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about arm wrestling. I think that whenever I'm
What about this, right? What about this? Why don't we have an exclusive start right now? Announce the last match.
Announce the last match?
Who's it going to be? Who's the extra match?
There are two of them. One of them is I'm hoping to be confirmed this evening. But the other one is let me announce. Do you know, just to pronounce the name correctly, I don't even know. Alan Barberis? You know, the guy from France that he beat.
He's the guy that is being.
He beat Leonidas.
Yes, I do know him.
He beat Leonidas at the Swiss Open. Yeah. He beat Leonidas Arcona, and his opponent is Andrei Sharkevich.
Yeah, and Shark's been pulling really well.
Yeah, and this guy is also very good. This French guy.
Alan. And I think what weight class is that at 95 or 105?
105 kilo.
Ooh. Yeah. Because I was just going to say, if Barbaros is dropping weight, I think it probably favours Shark. Shark's quite dry, but at 105, that's a good match. It's an interesting match. Yeah. I think Barbaros might be slightly more technical, Shark a little stronger. Very interesting.
Yeah. And Dino is asking a question. He says, when you will compete again and became champion in 85 kilo, that will probably, it will never ever happen. I mean, I may compete, but to become a champion in 85 kilo beating Samusha, I don't know.
You want to do it.
Okay, I will tell you one more super. Ahmet Burak Atınç, merhaba kardeşim. Love you guys, he says. Yeah. Oh, listen, you want to do it is, yeah. Do you know how it's happening last 5-6 years? I decide something in my head because I just think that the price is as used to be. And then whenever I start doing it, I'm like, okay, why am I doing this? On the halfway. Yeah. When I'm losing the weight, when I'm training, trying to heal the injuries, and I'm like, why do you do this? Like, why did you? And
it's interesting though, isn't it? Because when you start to even basic stuff, if you start to try and train basic stuff now, I find that whenever I do that, I get injured straight away.
I think we need to do first healing with the very lightweight to play with them.
Quite a long time as well, probably, of lightweights to get, or something. But
yes.
Whenever I try to do anything of significance, I get hurt quick.
When we were young,
never got hurt.
Paying the price was not big. Now, losing the weight is a problem. Injuries are a problem. Like I would just walk by the seaside. You understand? Seaside, and I would see.
I walk by the seaside. They try to roll me in the sea.
Yeah, and I would just jump on a tree, and then suddenly, no warm up, nothing. Winter or summer, boom, one arm pull up. You understand? Yep. Now, I have the small gym downstairs, and it's warm, and I need to do half an hour warm up, and then I can do 2 arm pull up, and still hurts.
Yeah, mate, it sucks getting old. Really sucks, because sometimes you do think, you know what, I'd love to just one more time be able to do it. I mean, I don't think I'd be ever competitive again at world level because I'm too screwed up. But certain matches that you could try and motivate yourself for, that would be quite. I mean, I'd love to pull John in a 6-rounder at some point. I just would. I just like to do it again. We were once on the fix and I talked to him about it and he said, yeah, that'd be quite cool. And if I could ever get fit, I'd love to do it. I mean, the chances of it happening are a lot slimmer than I am now, but I just would. I'd like to do it. But it's just getting yourself fit. It's how you. It's very hard.
One guy says, so you are saying training was easier back in the 20th century? No, it was not. I mean, it was easier for us because we were not hurt. We were young. We weren't wrecked. And I would eat whatever I want, no fat. And whatever I do, no pain. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't. It has nothing to do with the 20th century. It is when you're young compared to when you're old. When you're old, you are. I don't know. And also, it is not only about the age; it is about how much damaged you are.
I have a theory that it's the volume of arm wrestling that you did, and I arm wrestled a lot, like a stupid amount. And arm wrestled hard a stupid amount. And I think that's the problem. I mean, you look at someone like, if you look at Todd Zilla, for example, got into the sport quite late.
35.
He's about 35, 36.
Yeah.
Hasn't got the same miles on the clock.
No.
I started arm wrestling when I was 12 years old. And when I got to sort of 15, I was arm wrestling hard from 15. Like, both arms, never stopped. I don't necessarily think it's healthy. And the worst thing is going up through the weight categories, pulling multiple weight classes, going against the supers, going against the big guys. If I had my time over, probably wouldn't do that. Probably wouldn't do that. At the time, it seemed like a good idea because it was that no-lose situation, But in actuality, I think it's a shit idea.
I don't regret anything that I have done it because if I wasn't that cracked in the head, I wouldn't be successful.
Listen, if you weren't completely nuts, you wouldn't have done what you've done.
No.
A lot of people that get to exceptional level in anything are nuts.
Yeah.
You've got to be.
I haven't seen anyone. Listen, even the guys who look normal, inside of them, they are not normal. You look at John Brzenk, you think he's a normal guy. Inside of him, he's holding like 90% of it. Just you barely see him when he shows it. But then you understand when he shows it, like he's not as inside. He's not as calm as he looks, from outside.
Also, John is the exception rather than the rule in many ways. John is,
but I don't think he's normal either. I don't think he's normal either. I don't think so. He's just a quiet one. You understand? Yeah.
Very, very, very exceptional. But he's nowhere near as nuts as you and Michael Todd.
Yeah.
You and Michael Todd Michael Todd is incredibly driven. Michael Todd took the loss against Hermes, and the next morning I travelled back with him, right? We travelled to the airport, and he already wanted to pull the van again, straight away. Like he said,
I know. He has reached me out,
Yeah, and what a weapon that is. Think about that. What a weapon. That's a fantastic weapon to have, where you're that irrepressible. Bother it. You know, he was heavily invested in that match. Came up short. Boom. Let's go again. Straight back in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do what he did because we already made agreement that the winner was gonna take Levan. But yeah.
But he would have done it.
What's that?
But he would have done it, and that's a great thing. But for me,
no, I wouldn't because I would
awesome.
just think that I didn't deserve it. You understand? I wouldn't really ask a match with Levan right away. I would just think that I would need to beat someone or some people, and then to
is it now confirmed that he's pulling Vitali, mate, or is that not confirmed?
Yes, it is.
See, I love that match.
You know what? I will tell you something. A lot of people today. I had a podcast with Vitali, and Vitali said he thinks Michael is more difficult than Devon. Stylistically, he says to finish him. He said, I mean, listen. If he what is Vitali good about it? Vitali is good about the center. Vitali is good about taking the hand.
Yeah,
and maybe he can do this both to Devon and Michael. But even if he takes this to finish it with this such advantage, to me, Michael is more Devon has better hand control than Michael. His wrist hand better. But Michael can still pull in weird positions. You understand? You may bring him. Yeah. So that is what I am saying. That I mean, I see Devon, except whenever he's going for the open arm, but still his hand and wrist, I see him more closer to the orthodox style than Michael. Devon can do this very effectively, everything. So he's kind of divided, to many things, While Michael is, of course, he can do the shoulder pressure, but it is not it is more like an opportunity to hunt the guy suddenly and beat him. But his main style, I can say 98% is this thing. So about this thing, I think Michael is better than Devon. I'm talking about this thing.
In the Kings move.
Yeah.
He's more joined up in the Kings. It's going to be interesting to see whether that plays out to be the case. I actually don't agree with Vitali that Michael is more dangerous for him. I think they're both dangerous in different ways. The reason why is because Michael is astronomically complete when it comes to the press and also the Kings. I believe he's more joined up in the Kings, and I believe he's dogged in that respect. But he doesn't have the same capability to create problems at the top of the match. He doesn't have the same capability to hit the rise the same. And I think that Vitali may have fallen into a little trap where you pull Devon on the practice table and you think you've pulled Devon, and you've not. And Devon is one of the guys I would say is the least easy read on a practice table in the world. If not the worst.
I don't think that he is dependent on what they did at the practice table. I think he's generally, Vitali is knowledgeable enough to understand, watch his matches and everything. What I'm just saying that when Hermes got everything, still it was very hard to pin Michael. What I'm just saying that even you take everything from Michael, it's still there is a challenge to finish him. That last 2 inches.
I think there also is for Dev, mate, and I think
no. Devon he does that with the good hand and wrist. If Devon is like this, sometimes Michael is put. If Hermes would,
I know what you're saying, and I agree that is a lane.
Yeah,
but I don't know whether Vitali will get there.
Oh no, that's another thing. No, I agree with that. But what I'm just saying that is what Vitali does best.
Yes, it is.
So once he takes the Devon's hand, I don't see resistance. But even if he takes the hand of Michael, to finish it, there is always some resistance. Today we were talking about it, except Andrei Pushkar 2 rounds in their super match, this shape of Michael, he doesn't get flash pin, and that is what Vitali does best. So I am people think that like there will be no challenge. If somehow Vitali is stopped by Michael, that is going to become a nightmare. That moment.
I'm also going to say, though, the same thing about Dev. Very, very few people flash pin him. Very, very few people, unless he's damaged. So after the first round of the Saganashvili match, the first time he pulled them on, then he got pasted. But his bicep tendon had broken, or his bicep itself had broken. It wasn't the tendon; it was the middle of the muscle. But outside of that, I don't believe he gets splashed much either. Very, very, very hard to, very sticky. So Michael has less rise, less pronation. He doesn't pronate as naturally because of the lack of rise, but he's got a much better and faster press, and that's another big thing for Vitali to be aware of. Because I actually think in a fatigued match that Michael would be unbelievably dangerous for Vitali in that lane. I think from the setup, let's say for in the first round or first couple of rounds, he can't flash Mike. He can't get the access climb, and he can't finish Mike quickly. I think that going forward from that point, it would really open up the press for Vitali. And I think that Michael is super dangerous there because Vitali likes to pull off the counter quite a bit. And even his attack tends to be slightly B-side. So he won't go straight across the pronator. He rotates out. He sweeps out because of the length of the lever. That is unbelievably dangerous with Mike. Because when Mike comes in with that fast press, God, he's dangerous. Unbelievably dangerous. And I think it's the most direct press probably that I've ever felt. When he engages that, it's unbelievably devastating. It's him and Jablonski are very direct presses.
Yeah,
very
but Michael's pressure is not constant. He just goes. Especially he does that either at the beginning of the match or he tires you, and then if he takes you here, like if you are at this side, and he just does. But Kamil can stay there forever, and that is the only thing he is doing. Once he starts, Michael's is
what a match that is. Incidentally, Kamil and Jerry. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Did you know that Jerry lost his father?
Oh no.
Yeah, and we can't really do like Jerry doesn't feel good. Yeah, and that
I
is
didn't
not.
know that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible.
Yeah. So
I know I'm right in the middle of a similar thing there. That's not good at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I need to send Jerry a message. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What a damn shame. Terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, like you either finish Michael quick, which we see very seldom, or you need to have the tools to finish him. Like the way that Hermes pulled against Michael was the perfect execution of the technique. Yeah,
Hermes was
perfect.
great, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was fantastic. Very intelligent arm wrestler, I think. Hermes. I think he's a very, very smart guy. Reads the sport very well. He's shown multiple examples of that throughout his career. And also, as I said when we were talking about the build-up, Hermes has great confidence when pulling Michael. And the thing is, with I did an interview the day before. I think it was the day before, which I put out with Hermes, when we were talking about the accessibility with Mike, because of the fact that Michael's not such a long arm, not such a giant guy in that respect. He feels the very best of Hermes, because Hermes can really accelerate, can really rev up. So I do believe that the likes of Jerry, who's also not got a big long arm, and Mike, they feel Hermes at his absolute best. They really get a very severe test with Hermes. Quickvinia would on giants. That's a little more difficult for Hermes to get out of the blocks as cleanly and to get as much of his power down as he would with Mike. But it'll be very interesting to see Hermes get another crack at Laban and see what he's worked, what he's changed. Speaking to him the other day when we were in Tbilisi, we spoke a lot about the improvements he's made to his rise, and it was very clear. I mean, you could see it. His rise was amazing. The improvements he's made to his cup, his pronator, a lot of things that he's improved were very evident. And I do feel like with that result against Mike going the way it did, that's probably going to have boosted his confidence a lot. You know, he'll probably feel very. It's nice to get a road test on some of this stuff. You know, you get a real road test, and I actually think Michael was in incredible shape.
Yes, he was.
Personally, I think Mike was big.
I have never seen him like this before.
Yeah,
never seen him.
He was incredible, wasn't he? I don't know where his head was at, but that aside, the man was in unbelievable condition. And Michael is no joke ever. So to perform like Hermes did there, I think it will have given his confidence a massive boost. Massive boost. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against Levan. But the other thing is, and I've said it many times, I keep coming back to it, I do think that Levan Saganashvili is very underrated for his arm wrestling and his read of the sport.
I don't know who's underestimating him, but not me.
A lot of people. Sure, yeah. I get messages all the time talking about the power, the strength, the top end, the physicality. Yeah, sure. That's all there. I get it. Monster strong. Maybe the pinnacle in that respect. But what I do believe with Levan is that he's underrated in terms of his read of matches. When you sit down and speak to the guy, he can see the sport very clearly.
Yeah. He's a very smart guy.
Oh, yeah.
People, there is a wrong perception that when they think that the guy is so huge, he's not smart. A lot of people that are like super heavyweight are very, very smart guys. Trust me. It has nothing to do with that, yeah.
I actually think that's where, this is just my opinion, but I do think the sport has evolved there dramatically. People always talk about, arm wrestling in the past to now. I think that in the super heavyweight division, particularly in the supers, there are better arm wrestlers than there's ever been. Arm wrestlers. I don't mean top end strength. I think that there's always been unbelievably strong guys. Richard Lupkus, Scott Norton, neither of whom were technically proficient arm wrestlers by comparison. Both of whom were unbelievably strong. Cleve Dean, unbelievably strong, unbelievably difficult guy to deal with, but nowhere near as proficient an arm wrestler, So I think that's the big difference is that the top super heavyweights of today, number one, there's more of them. And number two, they are better arm wrestlers, more complete package arm wrestlers, probably than they've ever been. And I think that's my honest opinion on it. I don't necessarily think that's the case lower down the weight classes. I think there were some very good arm wrestlers.
It's all about the competition level, my friend.
Yeah.
Like, in the West, there is a saying that, like, iron sharpens iron.
Correct.
Yeah. So, like, to have today's stage, East versus West stage, and having that competition and not to improve is impossible. Even you lose at that stage, you improve for sure. You are learning. Like we thought we discover the next level. We thought we feeling. We will not understand. We will not learn. That is, we go there, we feel it, we experience, and then we learn it. That is. Like, look at Paul Lynn. Like,
and it's going to get more.
You have been part of WAL, and Paul from that time.
Yeah.
Would you ever think that Pauline, like, and Rustam Babev going like this? I would never. I would just say it will never happen.
Not in the past, no. But Paul, the interesting thing is that when Paul pulled in the WAL, he was a relatively new athlete, new guy. Very green, very raw,
but you would never
listen.
If he would stay in North America, he wouldn't have reached to the level that he reached today.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it another way, Engin. Right?
Yeah.
I would like to think that as the sport grows more and gets greater notoriety, and more people come in. I mean, I go to train Brian Shaw this week, and that'll get a great deal of eyeballs when Brian starts to compete more. I'm going to start working with Eddie Hall again in May. And as more people come through, and more notoriety gets into the sport, I would like to think that others will come, you know. So America has a vast, and not only America, there's a vast number of unbelievably strong people. Not necessarily just super heavyweights, all weight classes. And I would like to think that more will come. And as you say, the necessity to be that much stronger, to be that much better, the freedom of, or the availability of technical knowledge, it's much, much more easily accessible than it's ever been these days. I mean, some great channels out there. You only have to look at Voice of Arm Wrestling. Another one, Daniel Prokopchuk. Have you watched Daniel's channel? I think Daniel does some fucking awesome stuff. Really good technical tuition. Daniel Prokopchuk's another one who's very, very good. And when people view this stuff more, I would hope that more and more talents emerge who in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, may take that level further, you know, might go somewhere else again. And that's what's exciting. It's the new guys that are coming in and where they can
I will tell you something. I don't believe that any of the guys that are joining us, you know, at their 40, 45 will become like best or something, you know, in
the guys to watch are the teenagers of today.
I would just think that, like, especially the ones that had a lot of other memory in their past, you understand? I think that they will have negative effect for their future. But if we are talking about the guys that now growing as a teenage, you understand? And then those people, yes, that we will have like very at the beginning when I was organizing these events, when I organized so many matches, people were saying, again, we will be out of matches because you are organizing too many. That opportunity and that competition level is the one that is really making everything growing and growing. You know, that is what I believe right
even
now.
mate, even at the coming up through the grassroots. So if you went to WAF, which, you know, I'm
Their
purist, I'm
numbers
old
are
school.
growing. Did you know that?
Oh mate, WAF, the level of WAF is phenomenal. And
Yeah.
a lot of the guys that are flying under the radar, people may not think there are other amazing arm wrestlers out there. My God, there are. And more will come. More will come.
I mean, what we have today at the East versus West is just a representation of WAF. You know, because 95% of the athletes we have at the East versus West are the athletes they used to be at the WAF and the best.
At the elite level guys from WAF.
Yes. And they didn't become good at the East versus West. They are getting better, but they already that competition level, their national championships, European championships, Asia, world championships, every event they are just going against each other. The Russian, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Bulgaria, Latvia, Armenia, Turkey, like things like that. It is just making them stronger and stronger. And another thing is, did you know that like almost all of the national championships in every country, their numbers, some of them double, some of them 5 times compared to the 2 years ago. Because like the level is like a lot of more interest because WAF is like, to me, WAF is more important than East versus West, my opinion, because
grassroots is very important.
Yeah, that is I mean, that's what I believe, because how could East versus West give all those thousands and thousands of 13, 14, 15 years old people an opportunity to compete against each other and get better and better and better? What I am doing is I'm just picking those best guys and bringing here. Yes, East versus West is very, very important. But what I'm just saying that without WAF, we wouldn't have Levan, we wouldn't have Larratt.
Mate, it's not even just WAF. WAF, I agree 100% with what you're saying, but it's also just the grassroots in other areas. So the smaller events in Turkey, in the UK, in the USA, in Canada, in Bulgaria, all these events where people are coming to, you may feel like, a lot of the promoters out there, they go unsung, they don't get a lot of notoriety and people don't talk about them. But without that underbelly, without that grassroots of how do I get into the sport? What do I do? What is my progression?
Yeah, but my opinion is that if WAP is here, the things you are talking are here, because WAP is the one that is giving this platform to them to compete against each other. Because just look at 30 years ago, majority of the best arm wrestlers were from North America. Majority. Like Yukon Jack Championships was tougher than WAF.
Yeah.
Yeah, but today they are behind because they stopped being part of that WAF competition. And now the American arm wrestling again is growing, like getting tougher. It is because a lot of representatives also come in here, and we are going there.
Funny you should say that, mate. I had a conversation like that this week with a couple of guys who messaged me about how do I get into this competition? How do I get into this competition? How do I get to? And I said, look, and how do I know I'm at that level? And I said, well, one very, very clear indication would be if you go to the WAF and you win, I promise you, you get noticed. If you go and you dominate at WAF and you're impressive at WAF,
and then you will be invited.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, you're right.
If you're a North American athlete, if you're a UK athlete, if you're a Romanian athlete, Spanish athlete, I don't give a wherever you're from, you go to the WAF and you win, you will get spotted. Yeah. End of.
And trust me, I'm also watching the American arm wrestling. Like there is one guy, Cody Wood. You know him?
I know Cody. Yeah.
Yeah. That guy is also taking attention. There are some other guys. They are like I'm following. Like let's talk about while we talk about that. Let's talk about the East versus West 17 Arlington. And are you ready to rock?
Mate, I can't frigging wait. Listen, I absolutely loved Tbilisi. It was ace. The crowd over there were phenomenal. Massive thank you, Georgia, because I felt awesome over there. The people in Georgia are the balls. It's like a cultural hub of strong bastards. Everybody's a fucking. I mean, the taxi drivers.
You know this from 30 years ago. You know this from 30 years ago already. Like for 30 years, you know who these people are. Yeah,
monsters, mate. And the big thing there, we did the Florida event. Apart from the fact that I literally nearly died of heat exhaustion, outside of that, unbelievable. Show was amazing. I love the Americans because I feel culturally at home over there. They're all wild as hell.
They know how to make noise.
Oh, mate, it's quality, and it's like I can't frigging wait.
The only mistake we made was that to organize that event in August
in summer
in Florida.
Yeah. Trust me, when you're a fat guy in a 3-piece suit, that ain't good. I nearly fucking died, man. But outside of that, I can't wait. I think Arlington's going to be amazing. I think there's some incredible matches on there. I mean, I like Hunter Knopfs as well. He's another rising star, and he's got a tough test.
I didn't mention him because I already gave him match, so it's obvious he's on the radar, and I'm going slowly with him. And what do you think about his match against Valen Lowe? Do you know Valen Lowe?
Yeah. I think Valen is a very good arm wrestler. Obviously he's a proven entity. I think he's probably the best from that area of the world. I don't want to.
Yeah. Do you remember there was a China event? There was a tournament some years ago, like 4 years ago or something, or 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly. And he took second to Mindaugas there.
Valen's really good. I think I always say that if the levels are close and you're pulling the guy in, let's say you're pulling an Englishman in England, I think the Englishman's probably got an advantage because all of the disparate elements that go to make it up, the fact that he's travelled less, He's very comfortable in his surroundings, in his environment. These are the things that matter a great deal. I do think Hunter is riding a rich vein of form right now. I think Hunter is a confident kid. I love that.
Yeah, he is. I didn't know that he has some MMA base.
MMA, motocross, I believe. Just a confident kid naturally.
Yeah.
And I think he's great. I was so impressed with him in Florida. First time I've met the guy in person. I was very impressed with his attitude. I was very impressed with the way he carried himself. I thought he was great.
What's your prediction?
I think I've got Hunter Noffs winning. I think it will be a tricky match. But I actually think Hunter probably gets a blast pin early. I think then Vallon starts to slow him down and test a few things. I think Vallon's very brave and very technical, and I think he might make it difficult in the middle rounds. But I do think that Hunter's a very fit kid, and I think he probably outlasts him. Very good match. Vallon, first time out, that can make a difference. I think Vallon's a real talent, and I think he's one of those guys that I believe will improve. I think every time Vallon comes out there, and he's a very good arm wrestler, there's a lot of matches for him. Regardless of the outcome here, and he might prove me wrong. And this is a guess. At the end of the day, the predictions are just a guess. I've got Hunter Noffs in a tight match, but I think that he will.
Let's go to the next one: Sarah Beckman versus Jocelyn.
Now, I know that last time out, Jocelyn beat Sarah.
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see how Sarah's taken that. Whether sometimes Sarah.
My opinion is that
without sounding dismissive. I think sometimes the upper echelon girls need to have a very, very clearly defined challenge, because it's hard to get yourself that motivated and that ready when you've got very few challenges that you know of. And that can breed a little bit of complacency. And I wonder whether the first time they met, Jocelyn, with her strength background, was just much stronger than Sarah anticipated, and Sarah can make some adjustments. Obviously, Jocelyn's a much bigger girl. I think this is a much more acid test, and I don't know enough about the strength differential. I know a lot of strong women. I'm training a few of them right now, and I think that the potential for that in the ladies' side of the sport is probably even more than the men's, personally, in depth. And it's interesting to see whether Sarah can close some of that gap up, whether Sarah can come back in and have made a big difference. Now she knows what she's facing. She knows that this girl is no joke. Is she a much more motivated version, a stronger version? We'll find out shortly.
I think that, Neil, Sarah is professional enough to make difference from event to event.
I think so.
You understand? Yeah.
Yes. And I think Jocelyn studied her very closely.
And Jocelyn, I think that she is not as experienced as Sarah, but because of being newer compared to Sarah, I think she is also making progresses. So what I see,
and stronger.
Yeah. I think what I see that Jocelyn is getting stronger and stronger because more time in arm wrestling, while Sarah knows how to pick for more important. Maybe she underestimated that event because in North America, I mean, she was number one. Yeah.
Yes, not so many known challenges, but now
So
it's almost
I don't think that
fool me once, fool me twice. This is the real deal acid test now.
Yeah, nothing to take away from Jocelyn. She won fair and square, but I'm not sure if she met the best of Sarah. So now there will be best of Sarah, but I don't think that Sarah will meet the same girl that she met last time either. No. I think now Jocelyn also getting stronger and stronger, and so I think we will see very interesting match, very, very interesting match, and very intense match. This is for the Queen of North America.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree. Great
okay,
match.
so who do you think is winning this one?
I'm going to go with Sarah. And I'm going to go with Sarah based on experience. Obviously, as I say, I'm a purist. I believe that Sarah can make some technical adjustments. I don't know where Sarah's condition was. I think it's harder for people to close the gap quickly than to revisit. And I'm going to go Sarah. I'm very interested and I'm very excited to meet Jocelyn. I'm very excited to know more about her. I don't know a lot about her. I've seen her arm wrestle 3 times.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never met her.
Let's go to another one. I just told you, gave the information about the new match we set.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Shark. I do feel like he might be slightly stronger. I feel like he may not be quite as technical. But I do feel like for both men, because this is their first outing, I think Shark has a better opportunity to be a little bit more settled and a little bit more comfortable. And Shark is looking really solid. The last time I've seen him, when he comes in very ready, which he will do for this, obviously this is a big opportunity for him, and I think he'll come out very, very ready to do this thing. I think he's going to be tough to beat. He's a big lad at the weight. He's got good big hands, pretty long levers, stays well, and he's been very impressive this last 18 months. He's got some wins in there that have really made me sort of sit up and watch him. And I think Shark's gonna take the match.
I understand. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, and let's talk about something really, really big, very big.
You can see that.
People thinks that
someone else.
People thinks that the size determines how big the things are, but
my wife does.
Yeah, and Zenzu, 1 second. Hey, Engin, any plans on having Ayane Takanaka pull at the eastvswest again? She has been training very hard and gotten even stronger since last appearance. Yeah. My friend, I was gonna set Ayana versus Dimitrina for a rematch, and if she would have won the WAF, and what WAF, I think she took 3rd place in 55 kilo. So I will expect her to become best at WAF if she wants a rematch. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Mindaugas, Tarasaitis, Janis Amorins. Very big.
It's interesting because Rolly Ray Light Pins has just come into the chat. Rolly, good evening, brother. Hope you're well, mate. He's just come back from a visit out to Mindaugas Terasaitis, and I watched an interview on that the other day. And it was very interesting listening to Mindaugas, because Mindaugas, as you know, is a very confident lad. And this is a match that I feel like, I mean, I've been trying to set it up for years. Janis has always seemed like it was a match he didn't really want. I think Janis is a guy that likes to be 100% ready. No injuries.
That's normal when you are 40. Listen, when you are over 40 years old and you have an
mate, he was like that when he was 22.
I don't know.
He's that guy.
He was competing every event when he was young. You know, I remember he was competing Europeans Wars, sometimes even Zloty. I don't think that he was always 100%. But if you are pulling someone like Mindaugas, you need to be 100%. Otherwise, the guy will.
So let me put it a different way. I actually think that Janis Amelins underrates himself sometimes. I think Janis is better than he thinks he is.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt. You will not believe me. I believe that Janis at his best right now. If he is not hurt, because I have been following him, gym trainings and everything, and his size. Normally he couldn't gain weight. Now he's almost 80 kilo, and yeah, I think that Janis is in an incredible shape. Yeah, but now the challenge is also very big. Mindaugas Tarasaitis is a very dangerous guy. You would see him on the street, you would just bet your life that you would beat this guy. But when you feel him, it's not the same thing. Unless your name is Engin, so then it's okay, easy, you know. Yeah, but
I mean, you see this guy. You walk into a bar, You look down the end of the bar and you see a slim-built guy in, like a weird jumper, like some kind of beige or like forest green type thing, maybe with a pattern on. And you think to yourself, the fuck is this guy wearing? You don't realize that that's the greatest arm wrestler of all time. You don't realize. You look down there and you also don't realize that he is a bastard. An absolute, like you've never met. Like you could go over and be nice to him. You might buy him a drink. And he'll say, that's the wrong drink. This is a guy that's just a natural bastard whilst being the greatest arm wrestler ever to draw breath. It's a weird, and having bad dress sense. That's a weird combination. It's a weird combination.
Which one is it? That Danny Tesh or Mindaugas is greater?
Oh, wait a minute. Danny Tesh is not an arm wrestler. Don't make that mistake. Let's make a distinction here.
Okay.
Danny Tesh is omnipotent. Danny Tesh doesn't exist. He's a different thing, mate. He's everywhere.
Oh, okay. Apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. We talk. Okay.
Different guy. Different thing.
Yeah, okay.
Danny Tesh, number one, he can twat your dad. Says it all. Now, let's get back to Mindaugas Terasaitis. You were right to say this is a dangerous match for Janis because they see each other very, very regularly. Very regularly. And Mindaugas would never let this die. He would never let it drop. But can you imagine the pressure for Mindaugas if he was to lose this match? Because he ain't getting a rematch. That is not happening. If Janis beats his ass here, he'll never pull him again.
But the same for the opposite way as well.
No, I actually don't. I don't agree. Yeah, I think Mindaugas will pull him again.
Mindaugas is our contracted athlete. Why would I set the same match again if Mindaugas beats Janis?
Well, I love this match. I'd watch it three times.
I'm just saying that if Janis is beating Minda, there is no rematch. And if Minda is beating Janis, there is no rematch either. So
I put it on. See, you're killing the fun there, Engin. What if it's a great match? If it's an amazing match, I don't think people would want to see this 3-4 times over. I'd like to see Justin Bishop and Janis again. I'd like to see Justin Bishop and Mindaugas again. I think they're great matches. I absolutely loved that match. I thought that match with Janis and Justin was awesome. My favourite match that day. I thought it was a great match. And for me, when a match is really good and it's so clear that it could be, you run it on Tuesday, you get one result. You run it on Thursday, it's a different result.
Yeah,
and I believe that's the case.
Not for at the East vs West stage, because we need to do rematches when they are like really, I don't know, like really. Yeah. That match was hot, but usually I would try, I would do Aydarkhan versus Samusha rematch. That deserves to have. Samusha almost beat him. He was like 4-3, and it was very, very close. Very, very close. I love that match.
So it's a dangerous match for David, without doubt. Dangerous match for David. But this match is as close to 50-50 as you're going to get. We are talking super competitive match. I actually agree with what you said a moment ago. I think Janis, when he's on at the moment, is as good as he's ever been. I think Janis underrates himself, and I think that it's quite an interesting thing that he believes right now that he can win. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't have accepted this match. And it's whether, and I told
him, first I told him, how is your shape? He said, pretty good. Today I did this much of weight and things like that. And I said, Janis, you know that you are not getting any younger, and I think it's time. You are in good shape. You don't have so much pain. I know the opponent is dangerous, but you are also dangerous, and this match needs to happen. And he accepted, and we will see. I think it will be a great one. So who's winning? You said 50-50?
Yeah, I've got... Right now, I see the match as a slight edge to Mindaugas, but we're talking 45-55. This is close, real close. And it's my favourite match on the card.
Okay, just say that right now I'm 92 kilo. I just checked my weight this morning or yesterday morning. and then I made 85 kilo. This is very, very hard for me to, in short time, to lose more weight because I'm lazy and old. The metabolism is slow. But just tell me honestly. But because when that day comes, I will want you to do this, and then I'm ready, like the same shape that I pull Viorel Dobrin, and then I'm pulling Minde. Where are you putting your money? You're gonna say Minde again?
Don't talk to me about this if, buts, and maybe stuff, right? Because what we need to do is that match has got to happen.
No. That's not what I am asking.
No, seriously, it's got to happen.
No,
Let's go.
Tell me where is your money? Tell me that one.
Listen,
I know you want Mindaugas to win, but
I don't give a shit who wins.
You do.
I don't care.
You would want that.
Listen, if you want to know what I love about this match, it's this: whoever wins, it's a win.
About which match?
You and Mindaugas.
There is nothing like whoever or something. I'm winning that. I don't even listen. I can bounce ball.
Hey.
I can bounce ball under the table, and I would still top roll the guy. Okay.
Yeah,
I would bounce.
When it gets close,
I would be drinking coffee. I would be sleeping. I would still top roll him.
Let's do it. Let's go.
I will. Listen,
if you come and smack the piss out of Mindaugas, can you imagine how much ammunition I've got on the dude when he comes back?
Neil.
Oh my God.
If I wanted to come back to arm wrestling, just no disrespect. Mindaugas for sure one of my favorite arm wrestlers. But if I'm coming back, I'm not coming back and paying all that price because of beating Mindaugas. I'm gonna pull him. I would pull him. But just don't think that I'm coming back for him. That would be the
come back. Listen, come back. Yeah. Crack Samusha. All right, because that's the match you want.
Listen, Samusha, different story. I would bet my life on we hold with Samusha. I would take his risk. If you tell me, would you bet your life that you can pin him 4 times? No, I wouldn't bet even my finger on it because that's something different challenge. Yeah.
Samusha's really strong.
I mean,
but can you imagine the pressure that'll be on you as you approach a match with Mindaugas? Oh my God, the pressure! There's a chance.
There is no pressure. I would beat the shit out of him.
That's why we've got to do it.
Yeah, but listen. I need to burn that fat. You understand? And start training and heal up. And every time I go start, and then listen. We have a saying in my country: you can't carry 2 watermelon under one arm. That East versus West organizing. And this, why do you think?
We'll do it in Arm Wars.
Do you think? Listen. This is like it's very hard for you. You understand? It is not about that right now. Like after Robert getting involved with both King of Table and East versus West, now I'm not organizing like event every 3 months. Now we are doing every 1.5 months. So it is kind of. I thought it would be easier, but I don't think it is easier. You understand? It is maybe even harder. You understand? Yeah, a lot of things get easier, like especially the business part, but about the matchmaking and other things, just and like podcasts. Today I had podcasts, 2 of them, like you and before you, Vitaly, and tomorrow another one every day. Yeah. So I mean, I will try. I can't promise, but
listen, I'm gonna lose weight and smack the piss out of Mindaugas myself.
You will?
Yeah. That's what's going to happen. Mindaugas, if you're watching, you motherfucker, you.
Yeah. Mindaugas, when we pulled that super matches, I beat him 10-0, 5-5. He told me that he was going to tire me and he was going to hold me from my forearm and beat me.
He did that to me.
It's okay. Yeah. And listen, and he just talked a lot before the match. Talk. Okay. Maybe a lot of new fans don't know that time. I beat him in 2019, and we both were like under 75 kilo, and he talked a lot. And after the match, first thing he said, "If we ever pull again, I'm not gonna talk this much."
There's no way I could make 75. I mean, I can't make with that unless I got like some serious illness. I can't make 75 kilo. There's no way.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Yeah. Anyway, so let's focus. I love. Listen, there is nobody.
I'll get you, Mindaugas.
There is. Listen, if I pull him, I will pull him at the king of the table. And listen, and
you can't pull him at the king of the table. Don't be silly. You can pull him at king of the table. You're too involved in king of the table.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. What should I do? Should I not arm wrestle? What is that? Have you never arm wrestled at Arm Wars?
You come back, you get into amazing shape.
You have never arm wrestled at the Arm Wars?
Yeah.
You did, right?
Of course I have.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I had I think we had how many matches did we have that day? 25 matches.
It's okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it doesn't have to be 25 matches, but yeah. So let's talk about. Listen, there is nobody that I love to tease as much as like Mindaugas.
Before we move on from this, I know you're an organizer, but this is Mindaugas. Who've you got? Janis or Mindaugas? Who you got? Come on.
Oh. Listen,
I know you wouldn't do this for anybody else.
It can go either side. I'm 100% like honest. I'm telling you, Janis wouldn't take this match if he didn't believe that he can win.
I agree.
So if Janis believes, this is different than what other people believes. You understand? If Janis, listen, there are some people, they know. Some people are delusional. Some people are not delusional. Like you said Mindaugas, I said my opinion. You said Samusha, I said something else. You understand? Because I know my capabilities and everything. It doesn't mean I cannot beat him, but it is very little chance. I'm talking about Samusha. So, but when we believe in something, we talk. That is different. If Devon is talking about something, he knows what he's talking about. If John is talking about something, he knows what he's. If I am talking about, if Janis is talking about, we know what we are talking about. So Janis Amolins, if he took this match, it means that he believes in himself, that he has at least 50% of winning chance. So he knows himself. So so if he believes that, I cannot know his shape better than he does. So it means that Janis Amolins, in his very good shape, does he have chance to beat Mindaugas? Yes, he has chance to beat.
Yeah.
Does Mindaugas have chance to beat Janis? Yeah, they both have. So I will just like nothing. I'm not being political or anything. Like it is 50-50 match.
Right, Engin. Where's the microphone at?
Microphone?
Yeah, where is it?
Which microphone?
Yours.
What, on my phone?
Okay, so lean in real close like this.
Okay.
Don't worry. Everybody hates Mindaugas. They won't care. Okay? Just lean in and be like, Janis gonna fucking kill him.
You said 55-45 Mindaugas.
I did, yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to.
No. I'm 100% saying, listen, if I would believe one of them has more chance than the other one, I wouldn't say anything about the percentage. If I'm saying 50-50, it means that I can say it because it is 50-50. If I'm not saying 50-50 about that match, it means that I believe in something else. But I am not saying.
So here's my dynamic on this, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing's going to be pressure.
Okay, let's go. Matt versus Onar.
Oh, you killed me. I was just getting into it. What the fuck are you on?
Yeah, and you, what did you think about Matt Mask's shape in Atlantic City?
Mate, I absolutely love it when Matt Mask is on fire. And when we were out in Atlantic City, I actually thought it was easy for him. I thought he looked very, very confident, and it looked very, very, very calm. I think that Matt has a mega chance here, and let me say why. Because he's incredibly difficult to stop. He's got great access to a lot of lanes that can create problems for a counter top roller, particularly if that guy's driven out of the lane. And the biggest thing, and I mean this, take this as it's meant, Ongabayev is an arm wrestler. He's a guy that utilizes technical prowess. I think that's his biggest weapon. Sure,
do you believe that he can be at his best after the surgery? This is his first match.
No, I don't. I don't think so, and that's why I think that it favors Matt. If this had happened, let's say this match had happened when he hasn't had surgery and he's back, and I've seen him pulling at his absolute peak, I think maybe I'd even favour Ongabayev slightly, very slightly, because he does have the ability to utilise a lot more side cleanly with a strap if he holds on to his pronator. That is a weakness for Matt. Matt gains a great deal in height, is unbelievably explosive, and in my opinion, has the capability to beat Kiragali. Whether he'll utilise it, I think Matt's best route to beating Kiragali is actually knuckles up, and he doesn't like to do that. He'll often come off his wrist, he'll reverse off his wrist. I think that's a slight mistake. If I was working in Matt's corner for this, I'd keep my knuckles high, because I think that makes him more inaccessible. But that's for those guys to figure out. I think that gives Matt a much more dominant position. I'm a little concerned whether Kiragali comes into this slightly rusty. That's my honest opinion. Will he come in slightly rusty? Where's he at? I haven't seen him compete. We know he's had the surgery. I believe the guy's an arm wrestler at his core. I think he wins by exceptional arm wrestling. He's not a guy that, if you picture, as I say, the boxer or the puncher, Kiragali is the boxer. He's not the guy that's coming in there to rely on unbelievable power. He's going to out-arm wrestle you. And that's what he's basing his whole approach on. And that's why I think Matt's got a great opportunity here to really, really excite the crowd. Both these two guys are two of my favourite arm wrestlers for very different reasons. Matt, I always kind of want Matt to do well, because he's such an exciting arm wrestler. How can you not be a Matt Mask fan? Is there one? Is there anybody who's not a Matt Mask fan? I mean, Matt Mask is a frigging amazing, entertaining arm wrestler. When Matt comes out and he gets really revved up, he's so exciting, and the whole crowd ignites. And I actually hope that Kiragali's pride, which he's got a lot of, and his innate ability, turns this into an absolute battle. Because if it does, I think we'll get an incredible match, and I think we'll see the very best of Matt Mask. The very best of Matt Mask.
And
this won't be easy.
Who's winning?
I've got it 55-45 in favour of Mask. 55-45 in favour of Mask. Super close match. Matt needs to be very, very careful of reversing off this guy. Kiragali's an exceptional puller, and he finds lanes through people. Matt does have a weakness on the B side, and he does have a weakness when he can't get accelerated, if he gets the brakes put on early. And there's enough back pressure here and enough danger in the pronator for Kiragali to take away a lot of that booming hit. And I think that's something he needs to be very mindful of. But if Matt is mindful of it and he comes in with a solid game plan, I think he's a slight favourite.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Burak Atin says, being away arm wrestling with my demons in life, and it looks like I have missed a lot. When will be the next event hosted in Istanbul? We don't know that, Ahmet Burak.
Is the May event there, mate?
What do you mean? May event in Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Ooh, that'll be good.
Yeah. That is another den of lying.
Oh, mate, what?
Yeah, but the bad part is that it is right, like around the time of Kazakhstan nationals, and so it is like we won't.
Is the Kazakhstan nationals that week? That like within a week?
I think 17th, or like I don't exactly remember, but yeah. Okay, Prudnik versus Cody Merritt, left arm.
Whoa. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting.
If Prudnik was at his best, you understand, that would be problematic. But lately,
yeah, I don't think so well.
I don't know where he is at right now, and I know Cody is very deadly, but like I think that to beat Prudnik, to beat him, he needs to really hook him somewhere near center and stop him, beat him. But can he do that? Because like for his category and his weight,
How heavy is Yevgeny Engin right now?
He said like 110 kilo, he said, or 12 kilo or something like that.
So he's not quite super Prudnik, but he's getting big.
I mean, yeah, he could make 105 kilo, and he could make 15. He could make, like, I don't know, yeah. So he's not at his biggest. Okay, who is winning? Emir? Emir?
I'm going to go with Merritt as a slight favourite.
Mm-hmm.
55-45, Cody Merritt. Close match.
Okay. And let's go to the next one. I'm sure you will like this one.
That's an underrated match, Engin.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible match. I know. Yeah. And John Carin versus Craig Tullier.
Oh, let me tell you, I am so pumped for this match. This is my second favourite match on the card, for a lot of reasons.
First one is which one? Mindaugas versus Janis?
My favourite match on the card is Mindaugas and Janis. This is my second favourite match on the card for a lot of reasons. Love both these lads.
Mm-hmm.
Two very good friends, personal friends. Guys at different ends of the spectrum. Craig is our era, old school, mega puller, acid tested, always finds a way, rigid, strong, super experienced, been there, worn out the t-shirt. Terrian is right now. It is his time. He wants to prove it. He's spitting venom. He really is lighting people up. He is on a tear. The Savage. Both these guys are aggressive pullers. This is going to be a friggin' hellfire match.
Okay, if you're saying that it is going to be a long match, I think that's what you mean.
I think this is going to be a cracking match. Both these guys are more versatile than people think. The interesting thing with this is both guys can finish matches quickly and will finish matches quickly. They've both got unbelievable hits. Tullier, 2 hits. This guy can hit, then recoil and come at you again. Very, very, trust me, I've been there. Very, very difficult to hang on to. His opponent can do the same. Both these guys have got really solid, well-rounded capability. Both can pull a hard top roll. Both these guys can also transition very well into a fierce dragging hook. This is a great match, super underrated match. On experience, I give the advantage to Craig. And you look at that and you think, oh, he comes out a slight favourite, 55-45 favourite. On desire, I actually give the advantage to Terrian. On confidence, I would give the advantage to Terrian. I think John will come in here a little bit with that Hunter Knopf's kind of balls to the wall attitude. He's nothing to lose. He's pulling an absolute friggin' American legend, you know? So this is such an intriguing match. As close as it gets. I'll go marginal favourite, Craig Tullier. Marginal favourite. And it is friggin' marginal. And I would not be at all surprised to see John Terrian get this result. Love the match. Absolutely love that match. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Okay. Dave Cheffy versus Georgios Velasco.
Jesus. So, where did I see the other day? I was watching something. I wasn't watching it. I was listening it in the car. And it had Dave on. And can't even remember where it was.
Maybe my podcast, or
I think it was your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was your podcast, and I had it on in the car. And he said that he was feeling good, was back, wasn't having the same pain, wasn't having the same issues.
Mm-hmm.
That was very encouraging. because the guy that he's arm wrestling against is probably, arguably, the best top roller, pure top roller in the super heavyweight division.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal at finding that position. And he's much better than people think. Extremely underrated. However, he's also got great stamina. But if he does have a failing, it's that he will not really change his style. And we know that Dave has got the ability to press hard, and he's very clunky. Dave is a little bit like Richard Lupkus. He's that kind of style where he's not really, and I mean this respectfully, he's not really a attractive looking. He's no Kirigali Ongabayev, but nevertheless, he's incredibly effective.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that is quite unique for Svetkov also, because he's going to feel a different approach here. He's not going to feel that smooth hand. He's not going to feel the nice, clean lines that he gets from most guys that he top rolls. And I'm actually interested to see how he deals with that. Does he have the same access to his top roll that he gets when he's pulling an orthodox or a more orthodox puller? Also, can he get such a controlling position on Dave that he can deny him that press? I believe he's got better stamina than Dave, but I believe Dave's more well-rounded. And if Dave is back to his best, that is a very, very, very interesting match. However, he will need to be back to his best, because if he's not, he'll get run over. Because this is an acid test. This is a step up from the last match we saw. You know, everybody was celebrating the last match we watched with Dave. I get it, and that's great. And Dave is elite level. And if Dave comes in fit, he's a match for anybody.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's going to need to be. Acid test coming.
Dave has probably the strongest side pressure when he's healthy.
Mega.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go. Devon versus Corey.
I've got Devon
on
endurance. I think this is 3-round match, 5-round. What do you rate?
Best of 5.
Best of 5. Yeah, I've got Devon. I think that the difference maker here will be the endurance. I think that Devon's pronation is a problem. His height is a problem. I think that West is super dangerous early, and he's, in my opinion, stronger. I don't think he has the same endurance. I think he's got more top end. I'm also interested to see where Devon's at. Has he lost weight? I need to sort of speak to Devon properly. Is he genuinely, we spoke the other day, and at the moment he was saying that he didn't want to pull against Larratt.
No. He didn't want to pull him in May, but he wants to pull him in August,
But I know from speaking to Devon previously that he did want that match. He loved that match. So the fact that he doesn't want to pull him in May gives me some insight on where he's at. Or I assume it gives me some insight on where he's at. And that may mean that he's stepping down a little bit. He's chilling out a little bit. He's a little bit less focused. His left arm is healthier than his right arm a lot of the time, but it's nowhere near as complete. It's nowhere near as strong. It is tricky. It is quicker. And that makes it an interesting match. And I think his endurance is very, 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 very good. I believe that will probably win him the match, but I believe that Corey has the lane to blast him early. He's kind of, if I was in Corey's camp, I'd be thinking, that's my lane. I've got to put this dude away. I've got to put him away early. I think if Devon gets the brakes on at any point, from that point on, he's going to struggle.
Yeah.
So I got Dev probably 60-40 Devon in a 5-round.
Yeah. People think that it will be an easy match. It will not be, especially the early round.
My God, no.
And there is a possibility.
There is an option here that Corey West comes in and literally blasts him just lights him up, and it's done. He just blasts him. It could happen. I don't think it will happen, but it could. Don't be surprised. I mean, my God. You know, when we did the last podcast, and I was quite proud, actually. I didn't get some matches on that card right, but I got this one right. I said, look, I think Morozov and Larratt will be a much tougher match than people think. And so it turned out to be. And whenever we do these predictions, you're trying to visualize the match, you're trying to see it, but it's a guess, ultimately. There's a lot of nuance goes on in this stuff. And when you get two guys that are extremely high level, I mean, that's why you've put this match together, for Christ's sake. You know, there are lanes. There are opportunities for these guys to win. Corey West is very big, very powerful. If he can explode and keep control, he has the opportunity to win. But I think he's got to be brave, and I think he's got to do things slightly different to get a result on Dev. If he takes the usual lane, I think that he's going to get stopped at some point, and that will be a problem.
Yeah. Okay. John Brzenk versus Yoshinobu Kanai.
Well, my God. What a nostalgic mega match. Fucking hell. Love it. Two of my favourite arm wrestlers of all time. End of. Love them. These guys are my era. These guys are my friends. These guys are exceptional. And they are characters. One of them is the best arm wrestler of all time. The other one is one of the best warriors of all time. The warlord for a reason. This guy's called the warlord because that is what he does. I have seen Yoshinobu Kanai so many times do things he has no right to do. I have seen John Brzenk more times do things he has no right to do. What an unbelievably entertaining match. I actually think that Yoshi Kanai probably wants this more than John. This guy has pursued John Brzenk for years. He's been trying to beat John for years. He had him over to Japan multiple times to pull him there. Never managed to get him. I think Yoshi will be training.
No, last time they met, he beat John. Yeah.
The last time out.
Yeah. Last time they met in Japan.
What was John's age?
I mean, younger than now.
Do you know the age or no?
I think it was about 54, maybe.
So let's be honest. John definitely has deteriorated in terms of his residual injuries and in terms of his desire. Does Yoshi have a better shot? Definitely. Endurance gives him a great opportunity. The danger point with John always is, number one, if he comes in ready, if he comes in focused, he's lethal. And where? The hand. I don't think we can draw too many conclusions off what we saw with Todd. Because Todd Hutchins and Yoshi is always going to be a great match because they pull so similar. John has the ability to shut the game down, to take away Yoshi's ace.
You know, John doesn't like the guys with, like, especially now. In the past, it didn't matter, but now with the tall forearms and, you know, real high reach, Yoshi is like not so
not
tall.
A big man.
Yeah, not a big man, and his hand is not big either. John will have a good grip. You know, there is a possibility John to have a little bit control and come here.
Yes.
And if he comes here, his chance of finishing Kanai quicker than Todd is higher. But he may never able to finish either. But his chances to finish it quicker is higher because he has this. And every time I see John finishing Kanai, maybe I shouldn't say every time, majority of the times he finishes this way. And Kanai is here, halfway down is here good. He is not possible to beat with more pulling because he pulls better, but he is kind of vulnerable with a good. Yeah.
And this is the biggest danger for Yoshi. It's the hand, and for everyone. John's hand is the problem. John's hand is the issue, much more than his arm. His hand is incredible. His wrist is incredible, and he's also got experience with this guy, extensive experience. That is a problem for Yoshi because he knows lanes.
But both of them have good experience about each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great match, though. My God, love it. Love it.
Listen. We are like, people don't realize. I don't know how much they appreciate, but we are very, very lucky to still being able to see this guy at the table. There will be, they will listen. When we are talking about greatest arm master of all time, we are not bullshitting. We are not giving favor. I tell this all the time. People will think that, you repeat it. But when this guy in his prime, when he was at the stage, we all felt like we saw an alien or something. Every time he's on the stage, we will look at him like it's something different creature, not human being, but something from another planet. They don't understand.
Started his career, 85 kilo class, worked his way up, beat the piss out of everything that draw breath. There's very few people that have ever been able to do a great deal with him.
Yeah.
And when he was at his best, his fluidity was beautiful to watch.
Yeah. I mean, that is why, you like, listen, I say that you can't imagine something that you haven't seen. You understand? Like, I can't imagine arm wrestling being performed better than this guy. That's why I said in the past, bird flies, fish swims, John Brzenk arm wrestles. That's what you meant, right? When you say fluently, Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
it's the perfect storm.
And there will be a time, unfortunately, we will not see this guy anymore. You understand? So we are very, very lucky. It doesn't matter if he's now 60, 61. We are very, very lucky that we still see him at the table. And I hope people understand this and they appreciate, because there will be a time that we will not see him again at the table, at least at this level.
What was interesting, Engin? In Florida, he really enjoyed that. There was times in that match where John probably felt like he should give up. He was in terrible position, but he really enjoyed it. You could see the old John trying to, he wasn't fluid anymore. He's an old man, but he was enjoying himself, and that was great. It was nice to see. There was an Apple Jacks, it's called, or Applebee's or whatever it's called, down the road, and we went for some of the weeks in there with Bob and Todd, and talking to him there, and he said, "Yeah, I really bloody enjoyed that, Neil. That was fun." And that's what it's about. It's a reason. It's why. And for me, that's for John now. Yeah, pull back. You don't have to pull. I don't think he needs to pull top dudes. Matches like this where there's some intrigue there and it's a fun match. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
Veterans League.
And like, can you believe that? Like, even when he loses, like, crowd shows incredible respect to the guy. And the way
about not needing to prove,
the way that he was saluted by the spectators in Orlando after he won, like, it was incredible. So we are. I'm just saying that people can agree, disagree. I respect, but we are very lucky to see this guy still competing, and
the
I
amount
really
of respect
enjoy.
he commands, mate, is ridiculous. Let's say it's hard to put it in perspective, but when I was a young guy, it would have been like the absolute talisman to get a win on John, right? Because he's the best, and you always wanted to pull him. But the weird thing is that if I'd ever beaten him, I'd have felt bad, because he's also your hero. He's also the guy. So it would have been. It's a weird thing, and you still see that sort of reverence now. You still see guys. And if you beat him now, you haven't beat him. He's 61. I pulled John. I pulled John when John was in his prime, and dear God.
Neil, just go and ask all those people who were an arm wrestler at his time.
Oh my God!
Just tell me that one guy doesn't list him as his favorite arm wrestler. Just ask Matushenko, go ask Janis, go ask Alexei Voivoda. I wish he was still alive. We would ask to Andrei Pushkar. Just show me one guy that doesn't respect him. And just show me one guy that he wouldn't say that he's inspired by him. Like, when I was young, like Gary Goodrich versus John Brzenk, like Yukon Jack, 94. The match that the long tough match that Gary beat him. I mean, I watched that match like 5,000 times.
Yeah.
And then what John, how John inspired me was that he was so brave. Like I'm someone like who is not like genetically gifted, nowhere near to John. And so I had to, what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I had to pull in a very perfect way. You understand? Even though I won walls in the hook or something, but I couldn't be as relaxed as John and just
No.
go there. Yeah. So, but whenever I see him, the how he helped me was that he made me braver. I was like he inspired me. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever he go in there, so he kind of helped me to be braver to try like more dangerous positions, at least in the
Yeah.
training. And then I use them not by preferring at the world level, but whenever
Yeah.
I need it, I still use
Yeah.
them.
As a
Yeah,
necessity.
yeah. Necessity, I use it.
Yeah.
But I built that because of being inspired by him. They pull in all kind of ways and
Yeah.
like I can't just people thinks like maybe different about when I'm talking about highly about him, but anyone who witnessed his career in his prime, just find me one
Mate,
person that says
I'm going to say this, right?
that
I
doesn't
would
agree
love
with
to
me.
see I would love to see a prime John just picked up out of time and thrown in the mix now in the 95s, 105, 115s.
Yeah.
I know where my money. I know where my money is, and I know where my money is. I'll bet high. I'm just saying. Look, I respect everybody, but I'm telling you, in my opinion, John would beat the piss out of 99% of that field.
Oh, yeah.
Bad.
Just can you imagine a 90-kilo guy today is just doing something in super weight category? No way, no way.
No,
Yeah, and listen. When John
it's
was
changed.
winning, when John was winning in his category, the thing is that it was only formality. You know that
Mm-hmm.
it was not like nobody was excited.
No,
Everyone was
because it was
waiting
obvious.
because when he competed all those events, he was competing in American events, all those categories, his weight and the above categories in
Yeah,
Petaluma, in Tahoe, and everywhere.
everywhere.
So we didn't even doubt, about his super weight win, but maybe we were hoping that somebody would give him some tough match. But his category, whenever he's winning, even at
It's the
the
joke.
even at the Zloty tour, Nemirov, his category. Can you imagine with left arm he was winning Zloty while people were trying to make top three at the
Yeah,
Zloty tour? He was winning with left arm. I don't know if he was even training that left arm. Maybe a
never
little bit.
really worked on it. Just mucked about on it.
Yeah.
Guest arm. But yeah,
Yeah.
John at his peak, complete weirdo. And the we've talked about it earlier. The evolution of the super heavyweights. I don't personally believe that John at any time would have been able to come in and dominate someone like Levan. I don't.
No.
I think Levan would beat him because
Levan
he's
is
just
strong. Levan
too
would beat
big.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, he's too big and he's too. But we're not talking about. We're talking about a guy that was an 85 kilo and 90 kilo arm wrestler. That's what we're talking about. I mean, look. I think Devon is always been a problem for John, and always would be a problem for John. But Devon is a giant. John isn't.
I mean,
John's
I will
not a
tell you
giant.
something.
He's not that big.
Best of John, in my opinion, in a tournament style would beat Devon. But whenever you talk about the super match format, then the things are different. But if they are both just say like 105 kilo, I would still bet on John, even in super match. But
I think
when Devon is
you've got to take away some of Devon's teeth
Mhm.
to make that a better match because Devon is a giant. So Devon's trying to do what John did the other way. He's trying to go down in classes when John was coming up in classes. Now, both you can do, but do I believe that it depletes Devon? Yes, I do. I think that when you see Devon lighter, he's depleted. He's not as strong. He's not as dangerous. When he's bigger, Everybody's got their
wait. Listen, Devon, as big as he is, my opinion, in a super match format, he would beat John.
Yeah, he's too big, man.
But if they would be 105 kilos as he did against Petrenko, no doubt I would bet on.
I'll tell you what.
Anyway, so
yeah. I'd love to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see a peak John, absolute prime John, just have a go at Levant. I'm not saying he could win. I don't think he could. But I'd love to see him have a go. I would. I'd love to see him just try and see what he could do. I'd love to see a prime John against any of the top supers.
Neil, there is one guy, his name is Leo Messi, an idiot. He says,
I haven't got the
John is John is overrated.
No, he's not.
No. These guys just go to probably their grandma's, basement and then write on the keyboard, the things that they have never seen it. There's such a
John is not overrated. John is rated correctly and universally respected for a reason. John is mega. If you go and speak to Levant Saganashvili, he'll tell you John's the guy. If you go and speak to Devon Larratt, he'll tell you John's the guy.
Do you know what would be
Svetan, he'll tell you John's the guy.
Do you know what would be a good match? I think that Hermes versus Best of John, but of course that Hermes would be 25 kilo heavier. Like one is 130, one is 105. At their best, it would be a very good match.
I actually think John wins that match.
Yeah, possible. No, don't say that. This idiot would be offended, Leo Messi. Anyways, Neil, thank you very, very much. We are here for 1 hour and 40 minutes. And I think I'm going to watch Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid or something. Maybe I was talking about. Yeah, normally I stopped watching football. but because he wants to watch it, so I just want to be... I just want to spend time with him,
Yeah, mega. I'm excited. I go out to Colorado this week to work with Brian Shaw. I'm going to try my very best to help Brian get to build on the stuff Dev did with him and the other guys that have been working with him. Try and build up his technical arsenal and make him better and better. And hopefully he's back in the mix soon. We know that Eddie Hall's coming back to arm wrestling after he's had his fights. Exciting times. And then straight off the back of that, couple of weeks and then we're over in Arlington and I can't wait. It's going to be mega. It's going to be awesome. Top times.
I wish you the best, my friend, and keep in touch. You take care of yourself.
Thanks, mate. Take it easy. Thanks everybody in the chat. Hope you and your families are well and see you again. Bye-bye.